Team Today. We are celebrating Earth Day with some useful tips that will save the planet and save you some green in the process. Kimberly Palmer is a senior editor at U.S. News and World Report. Kimberly, good morning.
Good morning.
And let's start out with the car, because that's obviously a big expense. And the first way to save some money is lightening your load. What are we talking about?
That's right. Well, the first thing is just make sure your tires are always inflated. And then take out as many things, heavy things, as possible from the trunk of your car. A lot of us drive around with strollers, other equipment. That takes gas.
Okay, and also having a lead foot, also maybe not the safest thing to do, but also not the most affordable thing to do.
That's right, because every time we accelerate quickly and then slam on the brakes, it actually takes up a lot of gas. And so if you can drive gently, studies show that if you can keep your car under 60 miles per hour, that will help your gas go further.
All right, let's talk about some other things we can do around the house to save energy and money at the same time. A lot of folks, I'm included, guilty of keeping their computers on 24/7.
Yes, and a lot of people don't realize that even when you have turned your appliances or electronics off, but they're still plugged in, they're actually still taking up electricity. So you want to try to unplug things like your toaster. If you can, always shut your computer off. And then things like your printer, a webcam, you want to turn those off or unplug them. But if you can't remember, you can use something like this, the Smart Strip. And that you plug your computer into the main plug there, and then when your computer is turned off, it automatically cuts power to your printer and webcam.
How much does something like this cost?
This costs about $30.
Okay.
But on average, it will save you about $15 a year. So really, it pays for itself after 2 years.
Okay, here's another simple tip we can all do: shutting the door.
That's right. Shutting the door is actually so easy, and a lot of people don't do it, but that means that air conditioning and heat are all going into rooms you're not using, whether it's your study, guest room, so shutting your door.
Okay, we can all do that very easily. Oh, but someone's opening. Knock, knock.
I'm doing the dishes!
All right, that moves us into the kitchen. Let's talk about diet and ways we can actually save energy and money by the things we choose to eat. Who's the man behind the... No, go ahead. What can we do differently in terms of what we choose to eat?
Well, the first thing is shopping locally, because when we buy food that comes from across the country or another country, that takes gas to get to us. So shopping locally, and then consider going vegetarian more often. You don't have to completely cut out meat. Okay. But if you can substitute rice and beans, a frittata.
Why does meat cost more?
Well, meat actually, it depends on the kind of meat, but cows, for example, they take up a lot of land. That means deforestation a lot of times. They also produce methane, and these things are much cheaper than buying meat.
All right. We can also think about goods in terms of gently used goods, not necessarily going out and purchasing brand new ones. What are some ideas?
Well, the whole idea of free cycling has become very popular because people want to save money. And so if you're in the market for furniture, clothing, baby gear, you can go to websites like freecycle.org, Craigslist, and you can find them often free or heavily discounted.
Free cycled, how does that work in terms of, because I actually heard someone talking about this in the office the other day. Explain a little bit for folks who aren't familiar with it.
Well, basically, when you're done with an item, like, for example, baby clothes, you can put them up on these websites. Other people who need baby clothes, they can take them from you. So instead of going to a landfill, they're being reused.
Kimberly Palmer, thanks so much.
Thank
we appreciate
you.
Great ideas.